Well, now in this video, what we'd like to do is talk about the importance of customer service and how it's going to apply to you as the interpreter as you embark on this new adventure of interpreting. And I'm going to ask Dan right now to expand a little bit more on what it means to give excellent customer service and what does it mean to you.
Well, I mean, when it comes to customer service, I feel that it's really just the ability of a company or an organization to meet the needs and the wants of their customer. But there was one organization in particular who went a little bit further than that. And they said that not only is it the need or the ability to meet those needs and meet those wants, it's also the ability for them to exceed them. And I feel like personally as an interpreter, that's what you need to do. I feel like that's what we as interpreters should all do. Try to not only meet the needs of our customer, but try to exceed them. Because I feel like any company can just meet them. I mean, in your experience, customer service is everywhere, right?
Customer service is everywhere, so just think about when you've gone into a restaurant, or you've gone to the bank, or anywhere that you go. Have you been serviced? Did you get help? And that's part of what we have to do. We are interpreters, we're helping clients, we're helping solve problems. So if you go into a restaurant and you don't get the service that you want, you might not want to go back. So you have to think, did you get the good service that did you get your coffee? Did you get your food on time? Were you helped? And the same thing is with our company. I mean, we're service-based. We have to make sure that we are helping our clients and solving problems for them.
And elaborating a little bit more on that point, like if you go to a restaurant, I know it's happened to me, where I've gone to certain restaurants where I need more water, I need more of my drink, and they don't bring it to me. And then I've gone to other restaurants where I don't need water. I've taken maybe just a few sips of it, and they're already back serving me more water. And it makes you think, wow, they're really attentive, they're really aware of my needs, even before I'm aware of them. And I think that that's kind of what exemplifies this whole philosophy that we had talked about of not only meeting the customer's needs, but also exceeding them. You know, as an interpreter, we have to be aware of what they may need or want, possibly sometimes even before they're aware of it, and to be a little bit proactive, and to be able to offer our help in that way to where we're addressing those needs before they actually become issues. So I think that as interpreters, there's something we need to keep in mind, you know, to be able to differentiate our service from the many of thousands of other customer service experiences. We need to be able to excel. We need to be able to show this attention to detail that others don't. And sometimes I feel like it's the small things that really matter. I mean, I don't know about you, but to me, a lot of times, it's the tiny little things, just simple please and thank you, just little questions here or there, just little things that can amount to a bigger experience overall.
There's another point that I wanted to mention as well. It's very important to be consistent with our customer service. On every single call that we process, we want the client to have an excellent experience, a delighted experience, not just have one call be one way and then they call our service back and it's different and they're not as pleased. We don't want that. We want every single call to be a delight for a client.
And you know, in my personal case, the best experiences that I've had as a customer have always been where the person who is attending me genuinely cares about me, where they genuinely care about my needs and my wants. And I think that that's something that we can learn from as interpreters. I think that as interpreters, we should genuinely care about the people that we are working with, about both parties that we interpret for on the line. Because I think when you genuinely care about somebody, it shows. There's no way of hiding that. And I think that customer service in general just seems to follow that. When I think of somebody who has excellent, or somebody who just cares, period, they're usually very warm and they're very welcoming and they make you feel at home. They make you feel valued, And I think that that's important in the customer service experience, to feel like somebody really genuinely cares about you. So as interpreters, like we talked about before on the role of interpreting video that we discussed previously, it's important to do that because it not only benefits the client or one of the parties or both parties, it benefits you as well. It makes your work environment less stressful. It makes your work environment more comfortable, to where you can feel that comfort or that confidence to approach clarifying and repetitions and things like that without having to feel hesitant about it, because you promoted that kind of welcoming environment. It also makes you want to go back, like in those cases of restaurants or something. When I've had great experiences, it makes me want to go back again because I was attended so well, because they were so aware of me and the experience was so great. And I think that, with interpreters as well, it's an important point to keep in mind that when you provide that excellent level of customer service, when you establish that kind of relationship, it leaves our clients with a lasting impression that makes them want to come back. And that equates to job security for us as interpreters.
So, just as we're finishing up with this topic, the clients can't see you. The only thing they can go by is your voice. So in your tone, you should use a smile. You should have a smile in your voice. That is very important. Shower the call with pleasantries. Don't feel like you can't do that, because that's part of what we do. We've got to show them that we care, and the tone of voice, the pleasantries that we use, and just letting the clients know we're there for them, we want to help them, and that's pretty much it.
So in this video, what we've discussed is customer service and the ways that we as interpreters can utilize these skills to provide the best experience for our customers, one that leaves a lasting impression and one that makes them want to return and use our services again. But why don't we see what it would be like, or what it would look like, if we put these skills into practice? Hi, interpreter. My name is John, and we have a Mrs. Noriega.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, I was just saying that my name is John, and that we have Miss Noriega on the line, and she wants to follow up.
I'm sorry. You're cutting out a little bit. Who's on the phone?
Like I was saying, my name is John, and we have Miss Noriega on the line, and she just wants to follow up on an auto injury claim that she had.
I'm just going to be asking her some questions to help her determine the extent of the injury.
Okay, sure. You know what that... Could you just really need to slow down a little bit. I didn't really get anything you just said. I didn't.
Do you want me to repeat the whole thing over again?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Could you do that?
Yeah, like I was saying.
I don't get this.
My name is John, and I have a customer of mine on the phone. Her name is Mrs. Noriega.
All right, go ahead. You can just... Okay, now I got that. Go ahead, put her on.
Okay, well, she's already here. You can say hi.
Hola, señora Noriega. ¿Me escuchas?
Ajá, ¿sí?
Hey.
Ay,
¿Qué
hola.
quieres?
Usted habla español, qué bueno.
Mira,
para que me
es
ayude.
por eso que estoy en línea, señora.
Pero mire, usted está con el señor John. Porque
¿Cómo?
Usted está con el señor John.
Mira, señora, hable más clarito, por favor. Sabe que no te entiendo
Usted
nada.
está con el señor John.
Interpreter, what's going on? Can you just...
You know what, John? She is not making any sense. I'm sorry.
Okay, can you just ask her what it is that I can help her with this claim? And just...
Señora Noriega, ¿me escucha? ¿Me
Sí,
escucha?
sí, mija, no grites.
Mire,
sí te escucho, no grites.
Pero trata de... Usted tiene que hablar clarito, porque usted me está explicando algo que yo no entiendo. Sí.
Bueno, mire, dígale al señor John que yo estoy muy desilusionada y también preocupada, porque se tardan mucho con mi caso. Ya llevo varias semanas en esto, hasta meses, pues.
All right, you know, I'm not happy. I don't know, she's saying something about not being happy, and that her case has just taken a really long time. It's taken weeks and months.
Okay, well, you can let her know that I'm sorry about that inconvenience that she is going through.
I'm sorry, John, what?
Just let her know that I apologize, that I'm sorry about the inconvenience that she's going through, and just to allow me a moment while I review her case.
Okay, señora Noriega, que el señor dice que lamenta mucho por su caso, ¿ok? Y él lamenta mucho que está tardando meses en resolver su problema.
Ajá, está bien. Bueno, pero mira,
Señorita, espere un segundito, por favor.
pero mira, dígale al señor John dígale al señor John que yo necesito que me digan qué van a hacer, porque yo necesito mi dinero.
Tell John that I don't know what to do because I'm needing my money.
Now we're going to take a look at an example of how this same situation could be handled better.
Jane, and I've got a Mrs. Lopez on the phone, and she wants to follow up on an auto injury claim, and I have to ask her some questions to determine the extent of the injuries.
Of course.
Can you help me?
Yeah, I'd be glad to. Just allow me a moment to introduce myself. Buenos días. Yo seré su intérprete en esta ocasión. Tenemos en línea a una representante de habla inglesa. Su nombre es Jane y ella desea hacerle algunas preguntas relacionadas con sus lesiones.
Hola, señor, qué bueno que usted habla español para que me ayude. Mire, dígale a la señorita Jane que yo estoy muy desilusionada y muy preocupada, porque se tardan mucho con mi caso. Ya llevo en esto varias semanas, hasta meses.
It's so nice to be able to speak with someone who actually speaks Spanish so they can help me. Can you please tell Ms. Jane that I am very disappointed and very worried because they're taking way too long with my case. I've been waiting weeks, even months.
Mrs. Lopez, I apologize. Let me review your case. Let's see. You were a passenger in the vehicle driven by our insured, Mr. Gonzalez, at the time of the accident. Is that correct?
And just allow me a moment. Bueno, lo siento mucho, señora. Pero permite un momento, por favor, para que pueda revisar su caso.
Ahora, por lo que yo veo aquí, usted fue una pasajera dentro del vehículo de nuestro asegurado, el señor González, ¿correcto?
Sí, yo iba sentada al lado de él cuando el otro camión nos golpeó del lado mío. Yo quedé inconsciente y después de eso solo recuerdo que me desperté en el hospital. Y bueno, me dijeron que el accidente había ocurrido hacía unos 3 días.
Entiendo, señora. Permite un momento, por favor, para que pueda interpretar. Yes, I was actually sitting next to him, and then the other truck came and hit my side, and I later lost consciousness, and when I awoke, I was in the hospital. They later told me that that accident had happened 3 days earlier.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Do you have any medical insurance, ma'am?
Lamento mucho escuchar eso, señora. ¿Tendría por si acaso algún tipo de seguro médico?
No. Y ahora resulta que me dijeron que mi recuperación va a tomar varios meses. Yo quiero saber quién va a pagar todos esos gastos y cómo mi familia va a sobrevivir.
No, I don't. And now they're telling me that my recovery is going to take various months or several months. So I need to know now who's going to pay all of the expenses and how is my family supposed to survive?
One thing at a time, Mrs. Lopez. First, let me ask the questions that